Hello everyone, and welcome to the 4th edition of Race Review. I'm Ethan Price, and today we're going to be talking about all the action that took place Saturday and Sunday. This past weekend, the NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series took on the high banks of Talladega, and it was a wild one from start to finish. It all began Saturday afternoon, as following the conclusion of the ARCA race, the Xfinity Series hosted its 9th race of the season. The field got racy real early on as Justin Allgaier threw some massive blocks on Jeb Burton to hold him off and secure the Stage 1 victory. The big moment of the race, though, came on lap 48 and the closing laps of Stage 2 this time, as the number 02 of Blaine Perkins got turned around and flipped violently down the backstretch. Also included in the wreck was Kaz Gralla, who struck a loose tire off Perkins' wrecked Chevrolet and suffered significant nose damage to the grille area. Perkins did climb out of his car, thankfully, under his own power. With 3 laps to go, the big one happened following a late block from race leader Daniel Hemrick on second-place runner Sheldon Creed. Creed ended up turning Hemrick around right in front of the clustered pack, and several cars took some hard shots into the outside wall. One of those was Hemrick's car as it got airborne and lifted itself off the ground and rode against the side of the fence for a few seconds before it rolled over completely and slid down the banking onto the apron. Hemrick also climbed out and thankfully was okay. Now, the final restart saw Jeb Burton trying to capture his second career victory against guys like Creed and Parker Kligerman, who were still searching for their first wins in the Xfinity Series. Burton would be successful in his various attempts this time around, as he managed to keep the pack at bay and was ahead when the caution came out, coming back to the checkers. It was his first win since he won Talladega's fall race back in 2021 with Kaulig Racing following a rainout in the closing laps. The previous 2 drafting races, Daytona and Atlanta, had seen some exciting finishes, and Talladega looked to deliver once more. Denny Hamlin started from the pole, but on just the second lap, Michael McDowell had a tire go flat and spun out, bringing out a really early caution. The next portion of the race went by rather smoothly, outside of Tyler Reddick spinning into the inside pit wall on entrance after the Toyotas had decided to pit under green. Chase Briscoe did the exact same thing later on with the Ford group, as his brakes locked up and he spun out while trying to lower his speed. Chase Elliott commanded the field up to the Stage 1 conclusion, but lost out on the playoff point sweep after Eric Almirola nosed him out at the finish line in Stage 2. It was 2 and 3 wide racing as the race winded down, but a late yellow with just 5 laps to go changed everything. Cup Series rookie Noah Gragson found himself on the front row with the shot to win. A great restart propelled him to the lead over Ryan Blaney, but he was outsmarted by Ross Chastain entering Turn 1. Gragson tried closing the door too late that he had opened, and it cost him glory as he was turned into the outside wall. Kyle Larson, who was running right in the tire tracks of Chastain when the move was made, also was turned, this time into the infield grass. The number 5 car hit the grass and shot back up the track, right into the direct path of Ryan Preece, who drilled the passenger side door on Larson's Chevrolet. The impact was so massive between the 2 cars that it severely damaged the 5's right side door, and Preece's own visor flew up despite being previously closed. Both drivers walked away and talked to the media following the wreck. The next restart would be the final one, as friends Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney worked together to get around Kyle Busch coming to the white flag. That was all the help Wallace was going to receive, though, as Blaney's Ford tried maneuvering around him for the win going into Turn 1. Blaney had yet to visit victory lane since August of 2021, and he once more would have to wait for another chance. The number 23 blocked several times up and down the track, and it ended with him being turned around just as the number 8 of Kyle Busch snuck around both of them down on the bottom. Busch became the leader, and since it was the last lap of the race, and the caution had waited for the crash behind them, KB was declared the winner. Now, this was Kyle Busch's second win of 2023, previously winning at California in February, and it was his first triumph at Talladega since his inaugural season with Joe Gibbs Racing in 2008. This, ironically, is also Busch's first season with Richard Childress Racing. Is this foreshadowing of what's to come? This weekend, the NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series will travel to Dover, Delaware to take on the Monster Mile. This one will be interesting as it is expected to rain a lot this weekend, which could cancel qualifying for both divisions. If so, it's going to be hectic if the drivers don't have any track time prior to the race. So now, with that being said, who's going to tame Miles the Monster? Find out this Saturday and Sunday, and maybe Monday depending on the weather.